But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, the thing with Last Jedi, it had a lot of problems. It was kind of all over the place. And, like, the pacing was totally off in that movie. And then...
really bad pacing.
Like, they didn't know how to display their sense of time in that universe. Because it seemed like it was just like, everything just happened in 1 day or 2 days. But it was just like... Really?
I think another problem is that the movie doesn't really stand on its own. It really feels like I know it is a middle piece, but it just feels like a middle piece. It feels like something's missing. If you just were to, jump in and watch that, you're going to be totally confused as to what's going on. So, I'm all for having, an episodic series of movies, but you should also make it that someone can watch a film and get a complete story without having to be like, oh, this is a cliffhanger. That's a personal gripe. But then it's like you said, there's still a lot of pacing issues and whatnot. Even continuity problems with that whole Leia thing. And I'm not going to stop harping over that.
Oh, and the light speed missile.
The light speed missile. It's like
ship missile.
the whole time. There's,
anyways,
moving on.
To the worst movie, I think, of 2017. Oh my god.
Can you even say the name?
Okay, so the movie is Mother with Jennifer Lawrence. Even though we watched it for free.
No, we have Movie Pass. It's technically not free. We pay $10 a month. We wasted our Movie Pass day on Mother.
Here, well, let me explain myself. I'm just saying, even though we kind of used our Movie Pass to watch Mother, as soon as I got done watching that, I kind of felt like either throwing my Movie Pass, and it's like, I just want to give up on watching movies. Like, what the fuck did I just watch?
You defiled your Movie Pass.
Yeah, or I felt like I assaulted my Movie Pass, and I just wanted, I wanted a new card.
Just take it to the front.
Just don't watch it. I mean, I don't know what Darren Aronofsky was thinking.
I'll tell you what he was thinking. He was thinking he's some kind of brilliant auteur and that he's making some.
I mean, he made some good movies.
Only the smart people are gonna get. Look,
he made some good movies. I mean, like Requiem for a Dream was great.
Based on a book.
I know. I think Black Swan was. I haven't watched Black Swan, but like people said, like that was good. The Fountain I enjoyed with Hugh Jackman, and he was in line to direct a Wolverine movie with Hugh Jackman, but then like he gave it up.
Because, man, superheroes aren't artistic enough. Look, here's the thing about Mother. I think this is going to be a divisive movie for a while.
Man, I just don't even want to talk about it.
You're going to have two camps. You're going to have your average moviegoer that's just going to be like, what is even going on? This is not something I enjoy. I just wanted a fun, turn your brain off movie.
Oh, man, this is not I'm already getting PTSD just like you talking about it. Like, can we just skip it?
I'm going to lay into this movie. And then you have the other camp that are like, oh, you just don't get it. No. Most people do get it because the allegory is shoved down your throat. It's not an allegory because there's no mental work involved. It's not subtle in the lightest. It's like, look at this. Look at this. It's like, this actually means this.
Like, I know there are like scenes where they supposed to represent like the whole Cain and Abel thing. It's like, it's not even like it's super obvious because like, yeah, that's my son Cain and that's my son Abel. It's like,
I get it's
Cain and Abel. Like, hey,
it's trying.
I'm not stupid.
It's trying to tackle these issues of religion and
nature,
climate change, global warming, all the stuff. Pollution and misogyny,
and
but
like
it just comes off as pretentious because it's a movie that cares only about those things, pushing across that agenda rather than actually standing on its feet as a good story.
Yeah,
it is allegory used wrong. He's trying to make a name for himself, Darren Aronofsky. And I'm sure among certain critics he will get that.
I don't think he's making a name for himself. I mean, like, he's already has a name. He's already carved out, like,
he's trying to
with his other movies.
Place in history as one of those very artistic, visionary directors. The problem is he's using the work to serve his purpose rather than doing the work to do the work. It will never stand with true art, in my opinion. And I'll talk more about how you make a real artistic movie when we get to our best list. So why don't we leave Mother behind in the dust and talk about the movies that are actually important?
Sweep that up. Throw in the trash.
I'll let you take it.
The best? Which movie should we pick one?
Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to go with Baby Driver.
Baby Driver. Okay.
Baby Driver was awesome. It's a great movie. I mean, Edgar Wright, who was supposed to do Ant-Man, but then had creative differences, and then he just went ahead and made his own movie, Baby Driver. That is one very, like, good-ass fucking movie. I mean, original as shit. The way how almost everything ties in with the music.
Right.
It's like pretty much like a musical.
Kinda.
In a sense, but like a heist movie.
Right. So that's actually why, for me and Kay at least, that Baby Driver is one of the best movies of 2017. It's not because it's, it's not necessarily deep. It's a typical action film, but there's such an important sound element into how the actors' movements coordinate with the songs playing. Because the character, if you haven't seen it, is always listening to music. So as he's got his headphones in, he's jamming out, he's doing this and that. You'll have gunshots coming through a car in time with the music.
Yeah. And it's like, it's just making their own music. It's just like all the sound effects are making their own, like, it's awesome. It's like a very well done movie.
Yeah, never seen anything done like that before.
And it's sad to say that I think that was like Kevin Spacey's last movie.
Oh, before the Hollywood crackdowns.
Yeah, before his whole sexual assault, and what a befitting title for the last movie that he did,
Baby Driver. Oh baby.
Wow.
Yeah, it's funny because the whole time Kevin Spacey was never actually acting; he was just being himself in all these movies.
A fucking asshole. Okay, now you pick the next one.
The next one, I think I'll go with Thor Ragnarok.
Thor Ragnarok. I mean, like all the movies on our best list are movies that like you should go see immediately.
These are the top ones of 2017.
At least for us. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's more, but these are the movies that we've seen that we've considered that like these are the ones that you need to go see immediately.
And this is the only Marvel movie we're mentioning, but bear in mind, the Marvel movies are always entertaining. I don't think we need to tell you that. Mm. But this one is definitely standout, especially for this year.
Especially for Thor, too. I mean, for the Thor franchise. I mean, like, really Thor 1, Thor 2. I mean, like, they're like in the mediocre list.
Right.
They were entertaining, but they're still kind of like, subpar compared to the other Marvel movies. Yeah.
There you go.
But Thor Ragnarok, I mean, that director, I'm not going to butcher his name, but yeah.
I won't.
Taika, what, Titty?
He also directed...
We Live in the Shadows, I think.
It's a mockumentary vampire movie.
Which is mentioned in Thor Ragnarok.
Right. There's a little poke at it, I should say.
And he played, actually, he was the voice of Korg.
Right.
It was just a phenomenal movie, man. I mean, I loved it. I mean, it hit close home to me because it's like, that's literally like how my family dynamic is. It's kind of like, he showed like Thor's family dynamic is almost equivalent to my family dynamic.
Mm-hmm. I think the fact that it doesn't take Thor so seriously, the movie itself, and that's actually succeeded.
Exactly, because I believe, I guess we can make another video, go more in depth about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Movie.
Yeah, I guess we'll leave it at that. Thor, better when he's not taken so seriously.
Yeah.
So, next one. What should we dive into?
I say Dunkirk.
Dunkirk.
Go ahead.
It's one of your best of 2017. I liked it. I thought it was entertaining. The reason I don't put it in the best, I know it's doing something different, and that's always interesting. I just didn't care for it as much. Mm-hmm. It's I think the best way I've heard it put was when you said it's more of an experience than it is a movie, and that's true. So I think I'll let you take it from there since
for like Dunkirk, I think like I've never been to like a movie where I've been that kind of scared in that kind of situation, like displayed to me in a movie theater. Say if I saw Saving Private Ryan in theaters, like I know it's like a movie, it's still showcasing like, you know, what was taking place in World War II, but the sound design and like the way it was shown and the way just the music and in Dunkirk, the way Christopher Nolan did it, you know, you barely see any like real violence in that movie, I guess. Like you don't see any like gore of like the war,
right?
Compared to like movies like Hacksaw Ridge. Like you don't see that kind of gore in it, but like you still feel that dread that those people experienced in Dunkirk. The sound design was just insane. I'm talking about, this is a movie that like you must see in theaters to truly experience it, because the way they met, like I said, the sound, just the bombers and you know, the planes just diving in onto like the island of Dunkirk and the beach, just shooting at the soldiers. Like I was gripping onto my seats, like just hearing those noises. I'm just like, fuck, man. Like I felt like that shit was gonna happen in the theater.
It definitely does a good job with sound design and building up that dread. I think the reason I didn't enjoy it as much as you did is because it's more of an unstructured kind of narrative, and I think I prefer that you know, nice clean
Story.
Kind of
Yeah.
I mean, I do like more complex narratives, but
yeah, because there was
this
like
is almost like there's not a main.
yeah, that's the thing.
It's like a panorama of what's going on.
Exactly. That's why it was. That's why it was also like I liked it, because it was kind of like also shot in 70 millimeter. Right. It's just like a showcase of what happened.
Yeah.
Trying to make you experience that whole experience of Dunkirk. There was like no main character. It was just like, okay, here's the land, here's the sea, this is the air, this is how it all coincided with each other. Like with the land, it was like, okay, this is the week that it took place, and this is, okay, the boats, this is the day that it took place, and in the air, it was like the 1 hour. And so like it all just tied in together into like final hour.
Yeah.
And how they all like just, this is what happened here. That's why I enjoyed it. But you were off put by that.
I mean,
no, yeah,
it's definitely worth a watch. Like, I give it props for doing something different, and that's, I guess, just that alone is a reason why it should be on the best list, because it's not conforming to anything.
Yeah,
it's being its own thing.
All right, you're next.
The next one, I guess we'll go with Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
Guillermo del Toro's latest movie. I really like this one. This one I would definitely say is my best for the year, because again, it's another different kind of movie. It's not like other stuff that's been coming out. It is essentially a modern adult fairy tale. And I don't mean modern as in the present day, but modern in that it's still taking place in a world we can recognize. It's I think it was the Cold War era, correct?
I think so, yeah. And then not even that, like the way, I'm just saying, like the way the story was told was like in a modern way, I guess. But like the place where the story was set is in the past.
Right.
Yeah, it was a great, phenomenal movie. I mean, I love Guillermo del Toro's work. I love the music that he chooses in his movies, and the visuals and the monster designs. He's just a good director, and this was pretty original. I mean, the cast was great. I mean, dude, some of the stuff that was in that movie, just like, fuck.
The opening scene.
Well, not even that. Just like, well, I don't want to spoil it, so you guys gotta go watch it. It's good.
If you like movies like The Princess Bride or Neil Gaiman's Stardust, then this is a movie you'll probably enjoy, I can say.
Yeah. So our final favorites, we're coming up to our two last favorites. So which one you want to go with first?
It's up to you. Pick.
Well, I'm going to be getting a tattoo of this one, so
go for it.
Blade Runner 2049.
You remember how we talked about Mother and how that's an artistic movie done wrong? Well, this is one done right.
Blade Runner, man. Wow, what a movie.
This is how you tell a movie that not only stands on its feet as a good movie, but also has serious thought-provoking implications.
I mean, I've seen it like 3 times now, and like each of the viewings, I picked up on like different like allegorical stuff. Like, wait a second, wait, you clever motherfucker.
It even throws religious references in there without being in your face about it.
No,
You
yeah.
actually have to sit there and think about it, but
No, it's a very
wait,
thought-provoking
I get where they're
movie.
going from.
Like, compared to the old Blade Runner, which was very ahead of its time, even though this is a sequel, this Blade Runner 2049 is a sequel, it's so relevant to our current status, like to the now, even though it's set in the future, and it's just phenomenal. The set designs, the visual, the cinematography is just great. I mean, Delis Villeneuve, I'm probably gonna butchering his name, but whatever. I mean, he's been just doing hits left and right. I love all of his work. It's just been great. I enjoy his movies a lot. Like Sicario, I think, was awesome. Prisoners was good. Arrival was very thought-provoking too. It just made me think about, like, what is language? And
You see, the beauty of Blade Runner is that, unlike Mother, which just tries to push an agenda, tries to push a certain set of ideas on you, Blade Runner simply asks questions. And through viewing this world and these people within this world, it kind of shows you answers, or not answers, but possibilities without ever really answering it.
yeah. And then it also just has a good story of with good characters. So it's like, Dunkirk doesn't really have a story or characters, just kind of like a showcase. Blade Runner is more like, okay, yeah, this thought-provoking shit. There's all this symbolism that you might need to rewatch and try and find out. Or you may, who knows, you might be a genius, you might just pick it all up in just the first viewing. But it's still a beautiful movie to watch. And it's got an amazing story to it too.
I think one of the reasons why Blade Runner, both the original and 2049, have this sort of relevance, even to this day, is because it's asking questions of, what is human? What does it mean to be human?
Yeah.
And those are questions that you can't really answer easily. Yeah. And it takes a story to even give you even the smallest understanding of that. So,
I mean, look, like, we're in an age of, like, where we have Alexa and what other little mini AI things, and it's just kind of like, Siri, Bixby, whatever, and like Blade Runner 2049 kind of like gives you like that futuristic take of, like, here's some AI, here's like this other being, like, beings and stuff like that. Like, what does it actually mean to be like consciousness and alive? And it just expands on that. And then now we have one of your favorite movies, and one of my favorite movies too now.
So while I'm going to concede it may not have been as deep as Blade Runner, I still put Logan ahead of it this year because it was more heartfelt.
For me, I mean, like, I love Logan. Logan was a great movie. I won't put it ahead of Blade Runner, but for what it was, for being a superhero movie, for being a Wolverine, a true, finally actual fucking Wolverine movie that we deserved.
Finally got
for it to be
Wolverine dismember people on camera.
To be like, Hugh Jackman's final performance as Wolverine. Like, yeah, man, I teared the fuck up. That's why, like, I ended the year with The Greatest Showman. I was like, man, nah, you gave us Logan. I gotta go watch The Greatest Showman. I don't watch musicals, man.
Started it with Hugh Jackman, ended it with Hugh Jackman. But the thing about Logan is that it's so important as a superhero movie because it did for superhero movies what comics like Watchmen and V for Vendetta did for comics. It showed that the superhero genre can be serious, that you can take it seriously.
Yeah, kind of like what The Dark Knight did.
Right.
Christopher Nolan's The Dark Knight was like, no, you can make a serious movie involving a superhero. You could have a good story being told.
See, I would say that drama. I would say Logan goes a step further though, because there's still that sense of disbelief with superheroes like Wolverine, or just X-Men in general, because they have actual superpowers, whereas The Dark Knight was very down to earth. That was like as realistic as Batman could possibly be.
And then like with Logan, it's like they really humanized it.
Right.
It's like you felt so
Like
emotional, like for yeah, it was heartfelt, man. I mean, like I even cosplayed Logan with my niece as X-23 at the convention, so it was like, yeah, it's a great movie.
And similarly to Blade Runner, there are some it does bring some societal issues into play. I mean, X-Men's always done that in the comics, at least. So it's not just that it's heartfelt. It also does raise some questions without ever really pushing an agenda. Again, it kind of just, this is the world, this is how things are, and it's subtle. It's not obvious unless you're looking for it, or if you know X-Men and what X-Men's about. So it's definitely up there with Blade Runner. I'm not going to say it's as art house as Blade Runner. It's not, but it's still going to go down in history, at least in the superhero genre, as a very important movie until something comes along and tops it.
Yeah, I mean, like look at what Deadpool did with the budget that they had. It was a rated R movie. Right.
It kind of broke that barrier so that you could get these rated R superhero movies.
And that was a comedy, and it was a great comedy. I mean, Logan was fucking fantastic, man. I mean,
I think Logan was also low budget, wasn't it?
Yeah, and the amount of money that it made compared to shit like Justice League, Batman vs Superman, where those movies they spent like almost 500 mil or more probably with the marketing and all that kind of stuff, did not yield its rewards.
It just goes to show it doesn't matter how much money you put into a movie, it's about how much passion you put into making it.
Yeah. I think that's it for our list of 2017 and what we've seen so far.
Yeah. So,
don't fucking kill us for our opinions, man. Please stop.
If we've offended someone, well, we're sorry. We didn't mean to offend you. It's just how we feel about these movies. But whatever opinions you have, let us know. Write us a whole synopsis of your movie in the comment, or an argument as to why we're wrong. Tell us about it. Hello everyone, welcome to Geek Tank, where everything is a matter of geek. We're your hosts. I'm Zia.
I'm Kay.
And today we're going to be talking about our movies from... Oh my god. Shit.
Get out of your system, man.
This is not my thing. This is why I'm not